Howdy, Banjo Ben here today with the mandolin. I'm going to show y'all some cool licks to play. You know, when you first start playing an instrument, a lot of times you get in a little rut where you play the same thing over and over and over again. And so the cool thing to do is to go out and find some new licks, something that might stretch your boundaries a little bit, add those to your little bag of licks, and you'll remember those licks for the rest of your life. So that's what I'm here to do for you today, is show you 3 different mandolin licks that I think will really bolster your playing, especially you beginner players. These are not beginner licks, but they're licks that will help bring you out of your shell. They're somewhat athletic, and they've got some cool blues notes in them and maybe a couple triplets here and there, and I think that you're really going to like them. These are 3 D licks. I'm going to do a whole series on all licks in every key. And these are 3 D licks, and they can all be used in different situations, but in particular, whenever you're playing in G and you're playing through your D chord, going back to the G chord to end the phrase, these would be perfect licks for such times as those. So let me play all 3 of them for you here, and then I will slow them down for you. What I'd like to do now is take these 3 licks that I just played fast and then slow for you and break them down, talk about some individual parts of those licks. The very first lick that I played for you is based on what I call a circular scale. And what a circular scale means is that you start on the tone of a scale. Any tone would work, any scale would work, and you go 3 tones down that scale and then return back to the note that you started on, at which point you would drop 1 tone and do the same thing. Now, that may sound like a lot, but it really makes sense when you hear it. I'm going to start on this A note here, and I'm going to do it in the key of G, which means we only have 1 sharp in the key of G, which is this F sharp here. So I'm going to play the circular scale down the neck in the key of G. Okay, so what I've done, that's a really great exercise just to practice, and I think I'll make a whole lesson on just those exercises. But this one we really grabbed a cool lick out of, because I stole the first part of that scale and I made it into a D lick. And we're going to start up here and we're going to do that circular scale. We're going down 3 tones, then we're returning back to where we started. Then we're going to do it again, but starting on 1 tone lower. Gotcha? And then at that point, we're going to, instead of returning back to this F sharp note, we're going to then just keep going down the neck and finish out the lick. And of course, ending on this G note, because that's what key we're in. These licks would be perfect in all of those songs when you're in G, and there towards the end of the phrase, it goes to D for a couple of measures. That's when this will work perfect. For our next lick, we're going back the other way. We're taking this circular scale idea and we're starting more towards the bottom and we're working our way up. The lick went like this. And what we did was start on our 3rd fret of our D string, which is an F natural, which that's a blues note in the key of both G and D. And we go down 3 tones, and then we're going to start our circular scale back up. Okay, and once we reach that A note, we're going to break away from that circular scale and throw in a little lick type thing. What we're doing there, this is one of my favorite things to do. A lot of great players do this. I try to do it when I can. But we're alluding to the listener where we're going. Okay, we're giving them a clue. If you a lot of times when we play in the key of D, you don't think about playing a B flat into a B natural. That's not something that you would play necessarily over a D chord. But since we know that we're going back to the G here, I'm going to go ahead and throw in a blues note, a little lick that's already kind of in the key of G, and that's to give the listener's ears an idea of where we're going. That's what makes a musician and not just a picker. Okay, so that's what we've done there. If we had the rhythm going along with that, we wouldn't get to that G chord until the very last note, but we start playing a G lick before we get to the G chord. And that's what makes it sound cool. This final lick that I'd like to show you is probably my favorite of the 3. I've been playing Aversion, variations of it for years and years. I'd like to show it to you today. I really like it because we really wear out this F and F sharp notes right here. We're really kind of hinging on these blues notes right in here to form this lick. It goes like this. Okay, so we're going to start out on the 5th fret of our A string, which is our D note. That's our root note in this chord that we're playing. And we're going to work our way up. Now we're going to want to slide with our first finger. That just takes 1 pick stroke from our right hand. Okay, we're not picking both of those. We could if we wanted to, but in this particular lick we're not. Then when we come back down, we're going to pull off. Okay, then comes probably the funnest part of the lick, is we come down to that triplet pull off. Okay, that's 1 pick stroke, and we're going to start on the 2nd fret, or 3rd fret, excuse me, of the A string. We're going to pull off with our middle finger to the 2nd fret of the A string, and then continue to pull off to the open A string, all with 1 pick stroke in our right hand. It's kind of an electric guitar move, right? And until you get some calluses built up on your fingers, it's going to be tough to get those really clean and strong, but you will get them. Now I recommend in this instance that we pull up towards us, okay? I know that a lot of people like to pull down, and sometimes I do pull down, but in this particular instance I like to pull up because of where we're going next. Where's my next note? My next note is this 4th fret on the D string, played with my middle finger, which is an F sharp. So if I did pull down, that's pulling my middle finger further away from where it has to go next. Does that make sense? So why would we want to do some kind of movement that's going to counteract where I'm trying to go? Okay, we want to gain speed as players, and we want to be as clean and as fast as possible. So we need to think about what I call energy conservation. And so if we're going to immediately go to this 4th fret with our middle finger, why not kind of pull off towards that 4th fret and get us in position? See how much easier that is? And I can do it the other way, but there's more effort. And we finished it out with that wonderful G note. Alright y'all, I hope that you've enjoyed this edition of Bag of Licks for Mandolin in the key of D. I'm going to continue to do these and add these to my website and here to YouTube. So be sure and subscribe here to YouTube so you know when I upload more videos. and also be able to jump over to banjobenclark.com to see the rest of my videos and download the tab for this video for free. I'm going to make this a free tab download. You'll see it there in the top menu. You can click and get free tabs. I know that you'll enjoy it. And then check out my other stuff that I have available there at banjobenclark.com when you get a chance. God bless y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. Adios.